Hey class, welcome to Chapter 7, Section 2. So, the Articles of Confederation is out. America decided, you know what? We don't want to be a confederation. We want to be a republic. A republic is a representative democracy where we, the citizens of America, choose people to represent us. And so today, we are a republic. And within that republic, the founding fathers put in the Constitution a number of key principles. Principles that will guide us for our future and guide the document and still guide America today. And these are the key foundational items found in the Constitution. The first one I want to mention is limited government. Limited government. Under the Constitution, the rule of America is by a written law, the Constitution, not by the emotional whims of a king or a president, but rather their power, politicians' power, is limited by this document. Presidents, senators, representatives cannot abuse that power, cannot carry out power that goes outside of that limit placed on them by the Constitution. It can't be just a dictator who comes in, does whatever they want, because their power is limited by the Constitution. A second key principle is the separation of powers. The founding fathers said, you know what? Instead of just having one branch of government, we want three different branches: the judicial, the executive, and the legislative branch. Each of those branches has a different power. The judicial branch, their job is to interpret the law. They are the final word on what is constitutional or unconstitutional. Secondly, the executive branch, the president. He executes the law. He carries out the law, enforces the law, makes sure the law gets carried out. And then thirdly is the legislative branch, that House of Burgesses we've talked about before. And the role of the legislative branch is to make the laws. They are all equal. There's no one greater than the other, but they just have different powers. So first of all, we had the limited government, limited by the written law, separation of powers here, and then thirdly, we have checks and balances. Each of those three branches, judicial, executive, legislative, has different ways to check the other branch to keep any of them from abusing their power. The checks help keep each branch in proper balance with the other branches. For example, if the legislative branch makes a law, the president, the executive branch, can either veto it, get rid of it, or they can put it into law and execute it, carry it out. But the judicial branch can throw the law out if they believe it is unconstitutional. All three branches must work together in this system. You notice here, folks, every one of these principles deals with power. Who has it? Who doesn't have it? The founding fathers knew that man was sinful and greedy and would try to take more power than they should. So they have all kinds of checks limiting your power, separating the power among three groups, and then a way to check each other to prevent the abuse of power. A fourth principle is the idea of federalism. Federalism said we're going to divide government powers up between states and the national government, also called the federal government. The states have some area of authority, of power, and the national government has some area of authority. Both parts do. And that kind of helped to appease the states a little bit, who were unsure about giving their control over to a national government. So federalism divided the power between the states and the national government. And then sixthly is this idea of popular sovereignty. Popular refers to the people, the masses of the people. And then, secondly, then sovereignty means in control. The people hold the ultimate authority in the United States. We elect the people who make decisions on our behalf. We, as a nation, the people in the nation are the ones that have the power in America to unelect somebody, to remove somebody from office if we're unhappy with them. We are the source of their power. If you look at the preamble of the Constitution, it says, we the people are the source of that authority in the United States. So again, 5 key principles. Keeping in mind, we are a republic, representative democracy. And the Founding Fathers said we want to have a limited government. The power is limited to the power given them by the Constitution. Then we're going to separate the power among 3 branches. Legislative to make the laws, executive to enforce, judicial to interpret. Then we have checks and balances. This was put in place to keep each branch from abusing their power. Third, federalism divided the power up between the states and the nation. And then popular sovereignty, where we the people are the ultimate source of our government's authority. These are the key principles that guide this Constitution that has lasted for more than 200 years and still in effective use today.